Agentic AI applications are very hot these days. Everyone is trying to build an AI application where autonomous AI agents work in tandem or with each other to perform one or multiple tasks. That is why this new project Agentless is quite interesting. In this video, we are going to install this Agentless on our local system. Then we will see how exactly. Large language models are widely used for code generation, but their application to real world software engineering tasks has recent approaches uses agent based methods which equip LLMs with tools and allow them to perform actions autonomously. But these approaches have lots of drawbacks, including complex tool usage and design, lack of control and decision planning, limited ability to self reflect. That ability is really degrading as the days are passing. That is where this agent test enters into the picture. It proposes a simpler approach called agentless, which avoids these limitations I have just mentioned. Agentless uses two-phase process. First, it identifies the specific location of the issue in the code base, called as localized, and then it repairs it by generating patches. And we will also see Agentless leverages LLMs but does not allow them to decide future actions or use complex. This approach achieves higher performance, the SWE benchmark at a lower cost. The authors have also identified the limitations in the benchmark and proposed a revised version, which is SWE benchline. If you go through their paper, they have also described this whole architecture. The crux of this paper is that a simplified agentless approach can be efficient in encourages future work. Now, before we go further into this architecture, let me give a huge shout out to Mass Compute who are sponsoring the GPU and video. If you are looking to rent out a cheap prices, drop the link to their website. 50% range of. Coming back to this architecture, what is happening in this diagram is the overview of agentless, which consists of two phases earlier localization and repair. First, they take in the issue description and the existing project code base as input. Then they begin their hierarchical localization process by turning the project code base into a tree like structure format that demonstrates the relative location of each. Next, using this repo structure format along with the original issue description, they have asked the LLM to localize and rank top and most files that need editing to solve the issue. But not all contents in each file need to. As such, they have provisioned a skeleton for each file that is a list of declarations, and then they ask the LLM to output a specific set of class functions that they should examine more closely to fix the bug. And then they provide the complete code content of the function and ask the LLM to finalize a set of that include classes, functions, or even specific. So this is a localization. For the repair phase, they perform a very simple filtering to remove any context errors and regression test failures and use majority voting to rank the remaining. Finally, Agentless selects the top rank patch for submission, and that is all. Now let's see it in action. First, we are going to install it on our local system, and then we will go from it. This is a VM I'm using Ubuntu 22.4, and this is. But for this demo, I'm just going to go with OpenAI. So for that, you need to go to platform.openai.open. First up, let me create a Conda environment. I'm calling it for it to get created. Activated. Shouldn't take. You can see the parenthesis Next step, let's install some of the prerequisites. So I'm first installing PyTorch, then I'm going that is done. Let's also install the transformers, OpenAI for it to and I'm installing the transform source because it's a bit of a latest one. And that is also done. I clear the screen. Next up, let's git clone the repo of Agentless and see into it. I will drop the link to it. You see now we have it cloned the repo. Let's install from this repo with that is done. Let's path here the screen. And as I mentioned earlier, you would need the OpenAI key. Once you grab that from just set it like this. So I already have my keys. Set it and clear the screen. And as I mentioned that I will be using the software engineering benchmark or SWE benchmark, which is a framework used to evaluate the performance tools and approaches software engineering tasks such as code generation, program repair, and test generation. So for that, you would just need to run this command wget and all this stuff. And don't worry about this command. Put all of these commands in my blog, and I will try. To download this. This is quite a big zip file, and then you would have to zip it locally. Make sure you also unzip it. I believe I already have done it, so I'm just going to not do it again. I have just unzipped it in this project file. Let me show you. So these are all the files that are from this WE benchmark. I will just put it in my environment and then put this which project file location and file where you downloaded zipped that sort of. Okay, so that is done. Let's create a directory called as results, and that is where we are going to put in all the results. And now let's the localize function to find the bug, and then it is locally find the bug in the file with the help of open. And at a very that is what this command is doing. So localization, the goal is to find the location where we need edit to fix the issue. And Agentless uses a three-stage localization step to first localize to files, then to relevant code elements, and finally to start. And it is a paid option, of course. You see, rate limit is exceeding because I have a calls here, just giving quota file, but that is fine. Has just done something above, so I can show you. Press Control C here and show you what it went through the whole code repo. From here, it has given me has narrowed it down to 5 files, and then it is telling me they are the files. So what I have done is I have after this waited for a minute. Lets me clear the screen and run it again to see if it still throttles me, and that is the issue with this. Too much, it is great throttling you. Yeah, look, it is running files and it's going to take for time and lot of it. And you see it is just going all the bench. There are hundreds of files that I showed you earlier. Then it is hence. So the good thing is that it is the pinpoint code. The error and it is still running after 10 minutes. It has browsed through, I guess, like hundreds of files. It is picking up the error, telling us, then going. And you can see that it has just browsed through this whole hierarchical structure so far. And I was checking my OpenAI's account. This run has so far cost me around $15 US. Quite an expensive tool, it seems. Of course, you won't be iterating through hundreds of. Also, tool like this should be able to utilize a local model throttling. Anyway, I'm just going to stop it here. Got bankrupt. Control C and let. Also, when it will be done, it is just going to results here in this directory station one, which is about. You can check the outputs here. This stuff args. There are some things which we have used. And similarly, if you logs, what it did so far, showing you and you sort of thing. So, and it has gone through the whole bench. So, I think quite a good project, but one very glaring, I think, thing which is missing is that it should support local. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? All in all, a good tool and an interesting take on the agentic or agentless. I will drop the link to this repo and all the commands. If you like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, share it among your